Hi everyone, I'm Dan. I am the host organizer for the fundraiser for the strafing event. Want to touch base and let everyone know that as of right now we've raised over $225 in donations, which is great. We're just about halfway of the initial goal of $500, which I'm very proud to say is we're getting closer to that. It's the more that we raise, the more that helps out children. I owed it to not only just you, but to a lot of people, an answer as to why I do this. Why do I shave my head every once in a while? And it's something that I've talked about with, obviously close friends of mine, but now I want to share that story with you. Back in 2013-2014 school year, I was a sophomore, and I had just moved into my dorm, and I met someone living across the hall from me. Her name was Julie. I got really close to Julie. Julie was is still one of my closest friends, I would say. And she told me the story of herself and her little brother. Her own story with childhood cancer is that she was diagnosed with a tumor in her tibia, down in one of her legs. As such, she underwent chemotherapy and surgery in order to obviously remove the tumor and try to make her better. Her story is fortunately one of remission, and as of right now, all things been said, in recovery, and has been in recovery for quite a long time. That sounds a bit weird to say that she's still in recovery, even though it had been years since she had been diagnosed and gone into remission. But the chances are that you are, pretty much done with cancer as soon as you go into remission. There's always a chance of her emergence to happen, which unfortunately happened with her little brother, Mikey. I never met him. She told me stories about him. Her family told me stories about him, and he sounded like every other kid I've ever met. Full of energy, full of life. Mikey was diagnosed with neuroblastoma when he was about 4, or somewhere around there, and he fought it. He did very good, and he went into remission. And then that there's always that trademark of, you reach 5 years of remission and you're good to go. Well, Mikey reached year 6 of remission, and his neuroblastoma unfortunately had a reemergence, and he was 9 when he passed away from complications, obviously due to the cancer and such. Now, Julie told me her story. She told me her brother's story, and I was honestly saddened and moved at the same time. I was happy that she lived through her story, but I also thought it was a bit unfair that Mikey didn't. Here he was, he died when he was 9. And here I was at that point, a 20-year-old kid, just thinking, like, I had 10 years on him. What the heck? Why couldn't he live his life? Why couldn't he go further? No kid should have to be scared or worried about the next day as far as their cancer treatment or anything along those lines. And I stand by that. I could be diagnosed with cancer today. Yes, I'd be sad. But at the same time, I've lived a good portion of my life. Mikey was 9. He had only 9 years of his life. And honestly, he had to live through a traumatic life. Because for the first few years of his life, he had to go to the hospital. He had to get irradiated. He had to have chemotherapy. He lost his hair, his, strength, and it wasn't fair that he was taken so young. So, I got involved with Julie, and Julie got involved with me as far as what we could do. And Julie mentioned that at that time I had hair like this. I had a lot of hair that I could shave my head for St. Baldrick's. And I thought, I could. I like my hair long in general. And she said, Dan, it's just hair. It's going to grow back. And I'm like, that's a very good point. So we set up a St. Baldrick's page. And at this point, this would have been about 2014, I believe. 2014, 15, somewhere around that range. Where I decided, screw it. Let's do it. I raised about this point. At that point, that fundraiser raised about $1,100 in donations, which is absolutely mind-boggling that I could, do that. That I could raise that much money in such a short amount of time for the St. Baldrick's Foundation. We had news crews, we had, coverage. I shaved my head in front of my place of employment, which was really funny. I had a lot of my friends there watching me get my head shaved, and it was a great time. It was a lot of fun. And I decided on that point that I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it bigger, better. I want to get more people involved. Because as I saw it, the more I could get people involved, the more coverage St. Baldrick's could get, the more donations, etc. It's all helping out, the St. Baldrick's Foundation itself. And I was really excited for that. I wanted to do it again, after a few years. I wanted to grow my hair out again, because it's funnier when someone with really long hair all of a sudden goes bald. And to see the reactions of friends, family, and just like, wow, so that's what your head looks like underneath all that hair. And it was a lot of fun, and I had a great time doing it. The second fundraiser I did something similar to this. I did a 24-hour live stream. Could have been planned a lot better, honestly. But it was a lot of fun. I got a lot of my friends involved. They were super willing to help out. And again, at the end of it, we reached our goal. That was $760 that was donated at that point. And here we are in 2022, and I'm doing it again. I'm doing another 24-hour live stream, and I honestly can't wait. It's always a great feeling doing these types of events. And at this point, it's not just me doing it by myself. It's not me just going around asking for donations here and there or anything along those lines. It's a matter of I'm, reaching out to not only friends and families. I have spread word pretty far at this point that I think it has reached all the way down in, some various other states itself. I live in Maine. I've reached people down in New Hampshire, Massachusetts. Pretty sure I know some people, maybe possibly out in California, that know that this is going on as well, New York City. And it's exciting to get all these people involved. And on top of this, I'm very proud that my friend Andrew has decided to help out with this one. He saw how the first live stream went, and he said, we can do better. We can do so much better. And sure enough, we're, here a month out, and honestly, we're doing a whole lot better than we were doing for that live stream. As far as organization, we've got so much planned, and I can't wait to unveil it all. But yeah, this is where my story ends right now. We're a month out from the live stream. In a month, all of this lovely, luscious locks are going away. I want to just say thank you again to all the people that have donated so far, and to those that have even just shared the page or that this event is going on. Special thanks to, obviously, my wife Abby, who's been advocating for it on her YouTube channel. Thank you to Andrew, who has been helping out behind the scenes, as well as his wife Kayla, who's been keeping my sanity and been another brain to bounce ideas off of. It's been wonderful having everyone help out. So if you do have the time, tell your friends, tell your families, tell your neighbors, even if you don't even know them, that this is going to happen and this is the reason why. You can show them this video. Tell them the story. So the more people that we get involved in this, the more money that we can raise for St. Baldrick's. And the more that we can raise for St. Baldrick's, the more we can do to help out kids going through such a rough time. And that's the best way I can describe it, is it help them through a tough time in their lives. So that way we can find better options for cures and chemotherapies to be a bit more accurate. That way these kids, again, don't have to worry about the next cancer treatment being their last. They can just worry about being a kid. You know, they can worry about going out and playing with their friends, their family, you know, going to the next birthday party and so forth. That's what this is all about. It's not about me. It's about the kids. It's about raising money for St. Baldrick's. Additionally, obviously, we reached the goal. This head is getting shaved. And all the hair that is going here is going out to Wigs for Kids. As Abby mentioned before in her video, Wigs for Kids is a wonderful foundation that takes real hair donations and turns them into wonderful wigs, not to any charge to kids or their families. So that way these kids can live, you know, a normal life without having the anxiety or the stares from others as far as why is this young kid just walking around bald. And it's not just if kids are going through chemotherapy, it's if kids are diagnosed with alopecia or any other type of disease or stress-induced disease that essentially causes their hair to come out. Again, thank you so much to everyone that has donated so far. Thank you if you've shared the message that this is going out. Please share this video, tell your friends, your neighbors, anyone that has, you know, that this could be going on. If you don't know them, they might have gone through a similar experience as either Mikey or as Julie has. You know, you never quite know until to reach out. So again, thank you, and I hope to see you all on the 24th and 25th. This is going to be a great event, and I cannot wait.